Y'all remember the episode of Family Guy where they played the entire Dancing in the Streets music video for a cutaway gag? It stops the episode dead in its tracks, but I remember that was the first time I saw that video and it was just so unintentionally funny. I have no idea if Bowie and Mick Jagger thought this was the most badass thing, but seeing this unadulterated bro down is so damn funny and kinda wholesome too. It gives off the same vibes as when you're 14 and making a YouTube video with your friends, but you have no plans going in, so you just wing a bunch of crap. But that got me thinking of other videos that are unintentionally funny. You know, bad music videos have existed since forever, but those are usually more overt with their badness, like you can see it from a mile away. Whereas with unintentionally funny ones, they can still be considered objectively good, but there's just that one thing that changes the entire mood. I know Dancing in the Streets is pretty overt too, but come on, this is a great video. So today, let's check out some unintentionally funny music videos. I don't have any rules for this, like it's not for a specific artist or genre. The only thing I held back on was putting a bunch of stuff from the 80s in here. Like yeah, the 80s were cheese as hell, but that felt too easy. So I just threw a bunch of random crap together and called it a day. Let the funniness begin. Wow, talking about One Direction for 2 videos in a row. Expect my self-insert fanfic by next week. I feel like it chose a lot of their videos, since they're usually just them standing in a big empty room singing, which was very style of the time for the early 2010s. But I decided to go with You and I because, you guys ever read Animorphs as a kid? So it starts with Niall singing the verse and walking on a dock, minding his own business, right? Then he passes it to Liam, but instead of him walking into frame or just showing up like a normal person, Niall transforms into him and he starts singing his part. This happens every time someone else takes over singing and they get worse and worse. You can clearly see where they use CGI, and I want to say, just because special effects are dated, it doesn't automatically make a music video bad. In the End looks dated as hell and that video kicks ass. But you should always ask yourself, was CGI necessary? Like, did they really need to go out of their way to make this the gimmick of the music video? In my humble opinion, no. Like, they could have just had them walk in and out of frame with each other depending on who's singing. It'd be faster, cheaper, less choreography probably, but most of all, it'd get rid of these stupid ass transformations. But this isn't even the best part. After a couple more trades with the body, the band starts collecting really bad screen grabs of themselves. And they get pretty crazy with this. Like, they do a little hop, one of the worst damn cartwheels I've ever seen in my life. They jump off a crate, and my favorite part is when Zayn just throws Liam onto the ground and he collects one through that. I feel there's a noticeable dip in goofiness during the second half. Like, even the guys knew this was gonna be ridiculous, so they did whatever motion or action looked funny. But here's the best part of the best part. This video is actually accused of plagiarizing another music video with a similar concept, that being Everything You Wanted by Club Feet. The production company that made the video, Oh Yeah Wow, were the ones to point this out, going as far as to urge people to tweet at One Direction and the director for the video, Ben Winston, about the similarities. Although judging by their likes and retweets, I don't think it did much. Now, I will say the two are pretty similar, like they even jump off a box in this one too. But I don't think it was intentional. For one thing, this only happens in the second half of the You and I video, whereas it's the entire time for the Everything You Wanted one. Plus, this doesn't feel like the most unique concept. It's not utilized or stylized in a way that makes it feel special to this video, you know? I don't know if the band or Ben Winston responded to this, but really the thing these two have the most in common is looking bad. I got into Manchester Orchestra back in 2017, about the time Black Mile to the Surface came out. That's a great album, by the way. I highly recommend it. But on there's a trilogy of songs that connect to each other in a lot of ways. These are The Alien, The Sunshine, and The Grocery. Each of these got their own videos, but we're gonna take a long, hard look at The Sunshines. It starts out alright. The singer Andy Hull is holding a baby that I presume is his and singing the song. But then he takes a nap, or resting his eyes as adults say, prompting the baby to start singing in his place. And as much as it pains me to say this, as much as I love the song and the band, oh my god, this looks so bad. It's a lot of things. The mouth, the eyes, how it moves, it's all so unsettling. I know in the year 2025, making fun of something for its CGI is a very tired insult, but oh my god, this is bad. He just just can't do CGI babies, man. If Breaking Dawn Part 2 couldn't do it, what makes you think Manchester Orchestra could? I know it's hard to find singing babies in these trying times, but come on. And you want to know who's responsible for this besides the band and everybody else involved in the production? The video's directors, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. The same people who directed the Turn Down for What music video and Everything Everywhere All at Once. And for as much as I love their stuff, especially Swiss Army Man, that's a great movie. This is just gross. Thankfully, the video's only 2 minutes long and the baby floats away at the end, never to harm another soul. At the very least, The Sunshine is still a good song. Like, I feel I can disassociate it enough from the video when I listen to it, but I'm still gonna crack a smile or chuckle just thinking about that abomination. So I'm sure we all know that Carrie Underwood makes a lot of great music. As someone who doesn't even listen to country that much, I think she kicks ass. But one thing that she doesn't kick ass at is making music videos. It's the same thing I mentioned in the intro, where most of them are objectively alright, but there's just that one thing that makes them way funnier than it needs to be. Like in Before He Cheats, Carrie spends the whole video destroying a truck and it ends up looking like this. Is this a painting? Is this animated? Why is it so cartoony? But nowhere else is this more apparent than the Just a Dream music video. It starts with a flashback of Carrie and her BF, and he's like, oh, I gotta go fight in the war, and she's like, oh no, don't do that. Yeah, this music video's got some talking. For me, it's not the end of the world when music videos have talking, but I do think it's mildly intrusive. I'm trying to enjoy the song, but y'all just keep yapping. I mean, come on. She then imagines their wedding ceremony, which takes place on a random dirt road in the woods. What happens if a truck drives by? You gotta move all your shit out the way. But here comes the big reveal. Turns out this isn't a wedding ceremony, but a funeral for her boyfriend who died in the army. That's not why this video is unintentionally funny, it's because you can literally watch the budget explode and die. Like, the flashback scenes look good, they're well lit, shot on location, have a shred of competency to them, you know? And then it gets to the funeral, and you got the worst chroma key effect I've ever seen ever, and the same green screen shot of Carrie walking like 80 times. And the weird thing, I think they did shoot on location for a bit of the funeral, because some of these shots have more dynamic camera angles and lighting. But then anytime Carrie's singing or it's a medium shot of her walking, it's clearly green screened. My guess is it would have been too hard to do that effect of her dress changing color with natural light, so they shot those parts on a set with more controlled light or something, I don't know. It also ends on the shot of her with the casket, and is it just me or does this not look anatomically correct? I do feel a little bad laughing at this one, because if you look at the comments of the video, it's filled with people sharing their stories of losing loved ones in the military as well, so clearly this means something to a lot of people, and I'm not here to take that away from them. But at the same time, when you see this, it is kind of funny. Unintentionally. Like, I don't think Carrie or the director said out loud, hey, let's make the effects suck ass here. If the whole mood of the video changed after that, it'd be one thing, but it doesn't. It still tries to act serious. So yeah, it's kind of cheese. Respectfully. If this video is comforting or relatable to you, that is good. I just thought it was funny, but yeah. Support our troops.
And God bless America, I guess. What else can you say?
We all know Radiohead fans are the most depressed people to exist ever. They're all like the physical embodiment of that doomer Wojak. So to give them just a schmither of happiness, we're looking at the video for no surprises. It starts out with a close-up of Tom York singing in the dark. He looks pretty ominous, not gonna lie. Like, you could screen grab this and make it a creepypasta for nefarious purposes. And then the lights flash on, showing Tom inside a helmet being filled with water. I feel like any other person would freak out right now, but Tom clearly doesn't give a shit. Especially as the water gets closer to his mouth. Dude is stone-faced. Eventually, he gets submerged, and for the next minute, he just stares directly into your soul. Tom doesn't blink, or twitch, or anything. He just freezes in place with the most complacent face I've ever seen in a space. He looks like Balloony from Phineas and Ferb. He snaps out of it just as the water drains, and you can see him panic a little bit when he finally catches his breath. It also takes him a sec to get back into singing. I'm sure at that point all he cared about was his lungs not collapsing. So does this mean Tom's the next Aquaman? Can he just hold his breath for however long he wants? No, but here's the story. The video's director, Grant Gee, came up with the idea after studying a frame of Dave Bowman from 2001's Space Odyssey and making a type of underwater escape act with that. They mapped out the section Tom would be underwater for, and it was around 1 minute and 10 seconds. Now, Tom demonstrated he could hold his breath longer than that before the shoot, but the higher-ups wanted to keep it under 1 minute just to be extra safe. So to work around this, the song was sped up when Tom's underwater, but the cameras also shot at double the frame rate, meaning they could easily slow it down in post without it looking weird or falling out of sync. Sadly, it wasn't that easy. Even though I said Tom could hold his breath for a while, he got really stressed on set and could barely last 10 seconds. He just physically couldn't do it. You can see him get pissed about it in the behind the scenes for the video. I mean, if I was drowning myself that much, I'd be upset too. It took Tom till the last 5 minutes of the shoot to finally get the take. Now that may sound like a lot, and it is, but since they kept resetting so early in the video, they only shot 8 minutes of footage that day. All that work just for this. It was definitely worth it. Like, unironically, this video's great. It's unique, it's stylized, the concept just so happens to be Tom York almost dying. Give this one a watch if you haven't, it's great, but just a bit funny unintentionally. I will more than willingly go on record saying I like pre-2010 Coldplay. I know they're the butt of a lot of jokes, and yeah, for good reason, but you gotta admit, Parachutes and The Blue Room are so goddamn good. So to cap this off, let's check out one of their most popular music videos. No, not the one with the stupid dancing monkeys, The Scientist. This is a video I feel everyone likes, even if they don't like Coldplay. It was praised beyond comprehension when it came out, winning multiple MTV awards, it got nominated for a Grammy. Hell, the upload on YouTube has over 1 billion views. And it was all thanks to, well, the song itself is really good, but also how the whole thing is a reverse narrative. The video follows Chris Martin walking around the city and singing the song, and this alone leads to some really funny parts. Like, one scene has him walking past a basketball game, and I was so expecting it to rewind and show him dunking the ball or something. Or this part where he does these stupid little jumps over these walls. Look at him go. But given this video was made in 2002, the effects are pretty good. Some definitely haven't aged the best, but out of all the things, you know what wasn't CGI? Chris's singing. Because he can't shoot video in reverse, Chris Martin had to learn how to sing the song backwards. This way, when the footage was reversed, it gave off the illusion he was actually singing it. This alone is a massive feat to accomplish. I'm no singer, but I can imagine having to sing an entire song in reverse is pretty hard. You gotta think about pronunciation, lip movements, timing. According to the video's director, Jamie Tharves, they were originally gonna have someone else star in the video, but Chris liked the idea so much, he took it upon himself to learn it over the course of a month. And the end result is pretty good, actually. I mean, there's some parts where the lips don't match up completely, and there's a lot of parts too where he's not even singing, just walking ominously. It was probably too hard to learn the entire song, so I'm sure they were selective about it. Still, it feels like they did the best they could do, because no matter how much Chris practiced singing backwards, it would never match up perfectly. Like, there's just too many nuances for that to happen. And what makes it even harder too is Chris was singing complete gibberish. I found an interview from around the time where he sings the reverse part and they do a little comparison. When I saw this for the first time, I laughed so hard I got a headache for like 20 minutes. He's singing in like 8 different languages and the se part is so adorable. But you can actually hear some of the lyrics in the playback. Unfortunately, this was a double-edged sword for me, because after I saw this, I could not take the video seriously anymore. The idea of hearing Chris sing like this just can't get out of my head. I would love to see the unedited raw footage of Chris singing this. I found an edit where someone reversed the entire video, and it kind of gives the same effect, but it also highlights how bizarre the story actually is when you're not watching it backwards. Chris's girlfriend dies in a car crash, and the most logical course of action is to walk around the city and sing. Does that mean this video's bad? No, absolutely not. It's iconic for a reason. But like I said in the intro, it's just that one thing that completely changes the mood. Only difference, Coldplay were smart. They made that one thing barely noticeable, unlike most of the other videos where that one thing is blatantly obvious. But yeah, I'm gonna call it here. I apologize if I ruined any of these music videos for you guys by pointing out their unintentional hilarity. But sometimes, to truly appreciate something, you gotta take a step back, see what you got, and look for ways to laugh or smile. I don't know, that's all I got. As usual, thank you for watching, and shout out to my patrons. I'll see you guys later. Bye!